I decided to make a Q&A today right in this spot. And I wrote down like all of the questions. I'm not sure if I can cover all of them because there are so many. I asked around yesterday in my Instagram story, and the ones who follow me on Instagram, they already could ask me anything they want, and I wrote everything down. And there are some questions that are totally funny and really that has nothing to do with the van life, and I think that's quite exciting because you get a little insight of the way I am as a person, get to know me a little bit better. So I wrote down the first question. Are your lips real? Yes, my lips are real, and I always had quite big lips. I guess especially for an Asian, I have quite bigger lips, so yes, they're real. Do you have weapons in the car? The only weapon I have in the car, and this is something that my mom put in the car, are 3 like Counter-Strike sprays, pepper sprays, I don't know how you call them, pepper sprays, and I have about 3 in the car. I never had to use them, so I'm quite happy. Do you feel scared? I think this is a pretty often asked question, and I guess if I would feel scared all the time, I wouldn't have started the trip. I don't feel scared, especially after the experience I've made. I feel even less scared, especially here in Europe. Question number 4, do you feel lonely? I think I do really enjoy my alone time, and I don't know if you saw like my previous vlogs, I think you really get to see that I do meet a lot of people. Although sometimes I wish I had my friends around me who already know me, because then you don't have to explain your whole story again. Number 5, do you have a Wi-Fi router in the car? That's one thing I wish I had. No, I don't have a Wi-Fi router, so that's why whenever I upload one of my videos, I always have to find a cafe, and sometimes I have to walk from cafe to cafe because the internet is bad. Really difficult to upload from my daily vlogs. I really wish I could do it, but it's impossible because I film all day and then I have to edit, and then I have to find a cafe that is open with Wi-Fi. So there are times where I sit like even in front of the cafe in the night till 12 o'clock just to upload a video to put them on YouTube. When did you find out van life was your dream? So well, basically this goes back years ago. I was 22, about to become 23. I went on a holidays and I stayed like in a really fancy 5-star hotel, and I got to meet someone on the Canary Island, and I started to learn surfing because I always thought surfing is so cool. I always want to learn it. And I met someone who really changed me in the way of perspective. He made me realize where my talents lay. He introduced me in this lifestyle of surf and maybe van and sleeping in a van. So that was the first time where I actually had the chance to sleep in a van, experience it. I think this was the time where I started really to focus more on my own personal happiness, where I shifted from being a really fashionable girl into like something more that had more purpose. I loved it. I loved how simple it was, but I felt so great. I also had like 2 months before a solo trip to Iceland, and that changed me a lot because I went there without having any knowledge about camping. I booked the flight 1 week before. I didn't have any gear to camp. And I went there just by myself, 10 days. I didn't talk to anyone, and I circled the whole island all by myself. How did I learn to fix cars? I'm telling you, I actually have no ideas. I have no ideas about cars. I know more now, but I learned it by doing. I studied fashion, so I really don't know much about car fixing. I'm in several groups on Facebook where they help each other and they know the car really well, so I tell them all the time what is the problem, and they tell me what it might be, and then I try to fix the car. So yeah, I learned it by doing. What is missing in the van and what would you change? So I think I really like my van, but the only thing I wish I had was like a table, a place to sit, because whenever I'm on my laptop or want to eat, I feel like my posture is getting really bad. How many languages do I speak? I speak 3 fluent, English, German and Chinese, because my parents are from China, both of them, but I was born in Germany. And then I speak a little bit of French and Spanish, but really not that much. But yeah, I definitely understand more than I speak. If I could study something else, what would it be? If there's something I could study, I think it would be psychology. How do you get electricity? I have two batteries, one starter battery and the second battery. I take the electricity from the second battery. The second battery is connected to the solar panels and to the first battery with a relay. That means whenever I drive or whenever the sun shines, battery gets charged, the second battery. That's where I take the main electricity from. How did I commit to van life? Well, I think with everything in life, if you really want to achieve something big, you really have to commit. Otherwise, it will not work. You really have to give 100% and be fully committed to your dream or your partner or whatever in order to keep things rolling. So it was clear for me that I have to commit to van life because that's really something that I really want to do. What does Penyo eat? So basically, I buy him dog food, dried dog food. Sometimes he gets, of course, snacks while I eat, like a lot of times. Are you missing your family? You have to know my family is split up ever since I'm a small kid. I don't ever remember that I have been together. I don't never really had to get the real family life as a lot of people have. I grew up with my dad and later on I moved to my mother because me and my dad didn't get along and his new wife as well. There were actually a lot of times that I ran away from home because my dad and my stepmother didn't treat me. Yeah, I think I never really had that kind of family life, so I'm not really used to telling my family very first what's happening or if something is happening. First people I would call are probably my friends, so that's what I'm more used to. I still love my parents, I still love my mother and my dad, but I'm just really not used to being in such a family life, so I am happy whenever I see them, but yeah, I'm living my life. How much starting money did you have in the process? I actually have another video totally talking about the money, so you should check that out if you're really curious. I don't want to say it over and over again. Did you regret van life for a moment in your trip? No, I didn't. I knew that I committed to that dream and I knew what I was facing, and I know that van life is not always easy, so I knew all that, so I'm not regretting anything. I'm happy. I'm happy to learn and I'm happy to have the chance to experience all that. Who was your favorite designer at uni times? Oh, that's difficult. I don't really had a favorite designer, but I really liked the fashion back in the 50s. Like fashion history about the time when Dior and Chanel and all of them kind of evolved. What was your life before van life? So my life before van life, I was a student. I was working a lot. I would go out partying sometimes with my friends. I think I had a pretty normal life. I was more this kind of girl who would save money to buy new shoes or new clothes and new bags. And at some point in my life, I felt like, okay, it's not really fulfilling me anymore. The period that I was happy got shorter and shorter by the things that I got. Even they were like really pretty designer bags, and then I sold all of my bags and got the van. Would I attend uni again? I think no. I think no. I think I cannot go through this process of putting me something somewhere to learn, to study, and then to get tests. I think the whole concept doesn't really work for me. Do you believe in love at first sight? I think that's a really difficult question. It never happened to me. Some people who probably kind of experienced that, even like my ex-boyfriend, I feel like he saw me on the staircase and was just totally blown away. How is it to cross borders? Well, in Europe, I never got asked anything. I just crossed. So I don't know how it is in different countries and how it's going to be like if I go from Europe to Africa. So I will keep you on track with that one. Another question. Do you have to be rich to do van life? Well, I can tell you I'm not a rich girl. I worked a lot, and I was lucky though to have an apartment that I could rent out. Have I been to Asia and do I plan to go to Asia? So yeah, I have been to Asia, mainly to China because I was visiting my grandmother. I just love Asia. I love the food, I love the hospitality. So I'm really excited, and yeah, I'm gonna definitely, it's my end goal kind of thing for sure, to drive the van to China. So yeah, get ready for it. It's gonna be a long YouTube channel. We're gonna have a lot to discover. What race is Penyu? Penyu is a Pug and a Shiba Inu mix, and it's a really rare mix because yeah, he was a accident. Do you want to get kids and settle? Oh, I think I do want to have kids one day. At the moment, I don't feel like it's the time for it. I don't necessarily like the whole concept of marriage. Yeah, unless I feel it's in the moment. So yeah, maybe I would, but for now, I'm happy the way it is. Do you want to travel alone, or would you travel with someone if it happens? Well, I would always maybe travel with someone for a short amount or like a period of time, but at the end I want to travel alone because this is my dream that I've built up throughout the years, and my dream that I worked so hard for. And for me, this is not just to travel to enjoy and to see beautiful places, because even that gets somehow a routine at some point. But I really want to learn and to push my boundaries, because it's different when you travel alone. It really is, and everyone who has the experience traveling alone, they know that it is different. And doing it in a van, it's even more different. And facing all the things that you might face are different. Yeah. So yeah, I do kind of want to do it myself. Van life, sex life. Well, I think it doesn't change. It doesn't have a big effect, but I'm also not that kind of person who just meet someone and go for a one-night thing. I really need a connection, and I really need some sort of bonding before I can go physically, I guess. For me personally, I don't like to offer myself to just everyone, and I do need some sort of a connection. How do you handle your period? Well, I have to be honest, since I'm in a van, I probably had like 4 months that my periods didn't come, and I went to the doctor, and yeah, I was not pregnant or anything, and I thought maybe I had some kind of a cyst, but I don't. It's like the doctor said my whole body has to adjust to van life. And having the period, well, I guess it is kind of a bit gross, but I change in my van sometimes whenever. I don't have a toilet all the time, so yeah, you definitely feel a bit not so well, because in that, depending on summer and winter, because you can shower more often in summer, and the rest was just like off, like I don't know, it's weird. Maybe my body's still like adjusting to the new, complete different lifestyle and the new food I eat, because since I'm in a van, there are certain things that I don't really eat much more. Yeah, I went off the pill, so maybe it's still like a whole process of my hormones going a bit crazy. Where did I find the perfect van? Well, I think it's real difficult because I bought the van on eBay. I had no ideas about car. I didn't even ask a friend of mine to come with me to check on a car. I just literally took the airplane to a different city in Germany. I went there, I was like, okay, the car looks good, the price was fine. I saw a lot of the car like on the internet already, but I had no idea, so it was a risky buy. And then I didn't drove like a car for a year because I didn't have a car, and then I had a driving lessons with the guy who sold me the car, and to drive it all the way back, and it took me 8-9 hours because it was winter, it was cold. It was such an exhausting trip. You never have the security to get a perfect van. Even after when I ripped out all the things, there were like little rust holes, so you never know what's behind. So you just have to make the best out of it once you have it. But yeah, I got my van at eBay. Did my family perspective change after they saw me living my dream? Well, my dad, he didn't even really know I was leaving until he saw it on my social media. My mom is still worried, as probably every mom would be, because I'm her only daughter, and my dad has some other children, so I do have siblings, 3 actually. They're all my half siblings, and they're all younger, and the youngest is like 3 now. Could be almost my son. My dad is not the youngest anymore, but I'm happy if they're happy. So I think my mom is starting slowly to see that things are happening. I'm not just traveling and being lazy, because actually things are happening slowly and slowly for me. So I think she's now starting to see that I am doing good, and I'm not just like a lazy piece that just travels and do nothing instead of getting a graduation, as probably every parent's wish for their children. So I think I could change her view on that a little bit, but she's still worried about my safety. How many times did I repair the car? Oh my god, I think 5 or 6 times are pretty much, yeah, I think about that. Hey, what was one of the most memorable food that you ate on the travels? Oh my god, I love this one. So once I was in Paris and I went with someone to the pizzeria, Pizza Mama, I think it was called Pizza Mama, and they had this amazing, oh my god, amazing big fluffy mozzarella, and you would cut it open, and the liquid, it was like creamy but not too creamy. They would put a little bit olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. Sichuan pepper, it's like pepper that makes you tongue tingling, and they put that a little bit on this mozzarella, and you would cut it open, and the whole fluffy creamy mozzarella would just pop out, and you would dip it with bread. And I think it was one of the best mozzarella that I ever had. And even like not too long ago, I went to like this Portuguese restaurant where they serve like fish and banana, punched potato. It was amazing. It was so good. Like they put olive oil around it with some cilantro on a potato, and they were like punched up, but the skin was like a little bit dried up, but really like with texture. And then they had this cooked banana with the fish, which I never had tasted before, and it was amazing. I was just so good. I was really literally blown away. And I'm hard to be blown away by food because I tasted quite a lot, and yeah, so I was really enjoying it. What is the craziest job that I ever had? I think it was me working in the call center. Other than that, I really think I had some normal jobs though. I didn't have too many crazy jobs. Yeah, call center I would say. How did you start at pole dance? I think it was me just seeing people on Instagram like pole dance is like, oh my god, that's so cool, I want to learn it. So I just started, and I got the pole and tried to learn by YouTube, as I always do, to learn new things from YouTube. What is my favorite food on Christmas markets? My favorite food on Christmas markets is definitely, it's called buckfish. It's like fried fish with garlic sauce in a bread roll. Oh my god, every year I only go there to get that. Would I get a second dog? I already played with the thought that I imagine myself traveling, and if Penny get along with the dog really well, and they love each other, and the dog is perfectly friendly and fits, I probably would adopt another dog, yeah. What was my biggest beauty failure? Oh my god. I think when I was a little kid, I had like this typical Asian haircuts. I looked really like a fat Asian boy. I was like having tiny eyes and just like a fringe, and then this haircut, and was a bit chubby. I was really chubby. So I think that was one of the biggest beauty failure that I have. Although, no, I remember another one. I was 16. I poked a piercing right here. No, actually my friend poked it in school. We had classes and she got a needle. I was just like, okay, I want a piercing there, just like out of a sudden. And she took a needle from the wall, flamed it a little bit with fire to get rid of the bacteria. It was so gross. It was swollen for like a week. And then we drew a little dot, and she just poked it. And it didn't go through all the way, so at home at some point I poked it, and then it finally got through. But it was so swollen. I had that piercing for like, I think 4 months, 5 months, and then at one point I was really tan. At one point I looked like, I don't know, like a prostitute or something. I don't know. I looked like, I looked pretty bad. I had like piercing here, a fringe cut, and really tan. So yeah, I think that was pretty much one of my biggest failure ever. I think that's it, guys. I think we all got it all through. A lot of questions, and amazing. I'm sorry if I couldn't get all of the questions because there were so many. For now, I hope you enjoyed it and got to know a little bit about me, the van, and Penny. And yeah, next time there will be another vlog again, so stay tuned. And I'm so grateful for you. We reached 20k in such a fast like movement. It was crazy, and I'm so happy for you supporting me along my travels. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to say that again and again, that I really appreciate it, and I love how many positive people I have around here in my channels, here on YouTube and my Instagram. You're just really amazing, and it's so much fun to interact with you, because it's like it feels so real, and I just love that we can, and it's beautiful. And thank you that you always write me so many beautiful messages. I love to be able to inspire you. You inspire me so much too. So thank you so much for all of that, and I'll see you soon. Bye.